Hi, I'm Nicola Cairncross.
Hi, hello, hey, hi.
I'm going to talk to you about success. Yes.
Hi, it's Nicola here, and yes, the Vzine is back. I'm going to explain why I stopped it for a little while in the middle section, and I'm also going to explain why I'm starting it again in the middle section and give my reasons for that. In the meantime, it's mid-November, and it's still glorious weather here in Greece. Interesting time of year here because when you sit inside like this, it's actually quite cool because the houses are all made to be cooler through the long summer months. So when you go outside, it can give you quite a shock. It's actually pretty warm outside. It's sort of 20, 25 in the sunshine. And you get a bit disconcerted because it feels cool in the house, so you dress for winter, and then you go outside and you think, oh damn, I'm overdressed, it's too hot. So you have to wear layers at all times, which is a very sensible thing to do. Okay, so why have I given the Vzine a rest for, well, it was supposed to be just August, and then it ended up being August and September and October. And why have I started it again, in fact? Well, it's an interesting lesson in watching out what you measure, because I had no way of tracking whether this Vzine was making any difference to the rate of sign-ups of clients at Clicks and Leads Academy or not. Basically, unless you invest in some really heavy-duty software like Wicked Reports, wickedreports.com, I think that's a very good bit of kit that tracks all where your leads and your customers come from, and it tracks them right across multiple platforms. But it's a big investment and it's a lot to set it all up. I'm not ready for it yet. And the other way you can track things, of course, is by using UTM links, which is, if you go to Google UTM Builder, it's a way of adding a string of code to your URLs when you put your URL into things like blog posts or into ads, or all sorts of things really, but it's it's a lot unwieldy to work with. But what it does is it shows you when things come into your analytics. It shows you, when they come in on the URL, the UTM is shown. So if it says Facebook, paid ads, this campaign, this ad group, then you know that you're getting leads, and especially if you've got your goal conversions set up in analytics to track your UTM links, it's a really good thing. And also my drip measures, basically it shows me when new subscribers have come in through a UTM link as well, because it appends that UTM link to the person's record. So as each new subscriber comes in, I can click through and see where they came from. But it's a pain, and I'm not very good at consistently putting the UTM links on. So when I was looking at my Vzine numbers, I could see that Vzine number 1, I think we're up to number 75 now, Vzine number 1 only really had about 400 views on YouTube. On Facebook it was going great guns because I was able to boost it and get it in front of thousands of prospective customers and clients, and I was able to do that very cheaply on the optimised for video view Facebook ad campaign. But then Facebook suddenly started taking against my videos, and they still are. I have to appeal pretty much every one, but I just sort of gave up really. I just thought that's a bit useless if I can't boost it. I mean, how many people were seeing it without boosting? About 200 or 300, I suppose. And you can make audiences out of people who watch your videos 25%, 50%, 75% of the way through. So I sort of got a bit discouraged, I think, with the Vzine, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world to produce, and I actually find it quite hard to sit down and record these bits and then compress them down and get them over to Phoebe, and then but it does give me something to disseminate across all the platforms, and it is something that gives value to people, I hope, to the right people anyway. So I just gave it a little rest in August, and then that went into September and that went into October. And I thought, okay, so let's see now. I've had 3 months of, I suddenly realised actually that what was happening was new customers were drying up. I mean, I was getting customers for the big done for you service fine, but the new members of Clicks and Leads Academy, which is the thing I really want to work on long term, had dried up over the summer. Now, the problem was I didn't know what had caused that. Was it stopping the Vzine? Was it not the fact that I couldn't advertise to a bigger audience anymore? Or was it the fact that I had changed my sales page? I'd done the cardinal sin of changing 3 or 4 things at the same time, and I didn't know what had caused the difference. So I started putting things back to how they were, and I looked at July, June and April, May, June, July. Yeah, I looked at 3 months before I stopped doing the Vzine, and I looked at all my analytics and my sales figures, and then I looked at the 3 months during the hiatus from the Vzine, and I tried to see if it had made any difference at all, because the viewing numbers were not big enough to have really made any difference. But what interesting thing I found, okay, this is what made me decide to start it again, was that while the traffic to my website hadn't decreased noticeably at all in the 3 months when the Vzine wasn't going out, the traffic to my sales page where I offer the membership of the Clicks and Leads Academy had halved. Wow, that's pretty big, isn't it? Half the traffic to your sales page, good God. And so I thought to myself, well, obviously what's happening is, although the numbers aren't huge on the Vzine viewing, it's attracting really tightly targeted people who are getting to know, like and trust me, who know what my offer is, and who come and find their way to the sales page pretty quickly. So that's when I decided to start it up again, and then I went through a load of, what's the word I'm looking for? A load of agonising about whether we should revamp it, whether we should change the theme tune, whether we should make a new theme tune. You know, all these things. I'm a creator and I love to create new stuff. And I thought, no, don't make it a bigger deal than it has to be. Just get the damn thing rolling again and see what impact it has. So my message for you today is, don't change more than one thing at once on your website, because you won't be able to track the results. And B, don't just measure things like visitors to your website, measure visitors to your key pages, and particularly measure visitors to your sales pages, because that's what makes the difference in your sales. It's not about how many people randomly visit your website, it's about how many tightly targeted people who know, like and trust you come and see what your offer is on your sales page. Okay, so what's on the blog and the podcast? Well, it's been a bit of a sad showing on the blog recently, because there's only been the Own It podcast to keep it going. We've got an interview with Paula Gardner, who I know from back in 2003, 2004. She got in contact when I had the hotel, and she was a really cool PR person. In fact, she still is a really cool PR person. And she did some PR for the hotel in return for coming and staying at the hotel, and also getting some wealth coaching, as it was in those days, about how to make her business less dependent on her. So we interviewed her on the podcast, and she came up with some really good stuff. She's retrained as a psychologist, and she's very interested in chaos theory. Now, what's the other thing? Happenstance theory. So it's, if you're interested in the law of attraction, or indeed if you're just interested in physics and synchronicity and stuff like that, go and check out the blog, nicolacairncross.com/blog. Okay, the episode before that, episode 201, was all about why are entrepreneurs so annoying? Why do we all buy big ticket items and training courses and then not finish them, or try to bend the rules on how we do them? Judith got a particular bugbear about this. So go and check that one out. It's got a great picture of an owl, that episode. I really enjoyed choosing the picture on that one. And before that, it was our 200th show. Yes, we've done 200 episodes of Own It, the podcast. And iTunes has rewarded us by moving us up from number 79 in the What's Hot charts to number 73. Way! So that'll bring in a lot of new listeners, I don't think. So yeah, just go and check it all out. It's all on nicolacairncross.com/blog. And if you've got any ideas for anything you'd like me to cover in future episodes, then you can come along to my contact page, nicolacairncross.com/contact, and I've got a mechanism on there called Leave a Message. It's a SpeakPipe app, and you can leave a message, audio message, so you don't even have to type it out. Give us a shout and we'll try and cover your challenge on on the show too. That's it for this week, so I hope you like the Vzine being back. Do let me know in the comments wherever you're watching this, because obviously feedback is really, really helpful. Speak to you soon. Bye!